Hey, today we're going to work on some scum that we don't need. Or that the Empire doesn't need. It turns out that they absolutely need. Because they couldn't catch Han Solo or the Millennium Falcon. But the scum did. Anyway, this is rambling. Hey, welcome to another episode of Blastercaded Painting. Today we're going to paint the Bounty Hunters from Star Wars Shatterpoint by Atomic Mass Games. These are fun, cool miniatures because they're not really tied to any character that we know. So they're just fun, random Star Wars guys. So let's do it. Just a note, I filmed this like 2 months ago. No, like 3 months ago. And never got around to editing it and getting it done. So yeah, I've changed the way I paint a little bit since then, but this is sort of a hybrid of how I'm painting now as opposed to how I used to paint. Anyway, it's information you didn't need, but I thought I'd share it. First thing we're going to do is give these guys a spray of white all over. And we're going to take some night blue here. We're going to focus on the Chadra fan guy first. This is going to go all over his jumpsuit, but staying away from his vest. I just want to point out, there's a ton of vests in Star Wars. There's a lot of capes and a lot of vests. It's just an observation. Next, we're going to take some Beastie Brown here, and this is just going to go all over his feet and his head and his hands, and anywhere where we're going to be looking to do that fur later. Next, we're going to take some salmon here, and this is going to go on the inside of his gigantic ears. We're also going to put this on his snout and mouth as well. Next, we're taking some volcanic yellow, and this is going all over his vest. Next, we're going to take some tan here, and this is just going to go all over his space duffel bag. It just looks like a duffel bag from the 80s, which is kind of appropriate because I know in like Empire they just like took stuff from like the regular world and used it on set because the guy's like running around with an ice cream maker. Anyway, it's just a duffel bag. Next, we're gonna take some khaki here, and this is just gonna go on the straps of his space duffel. Next, we're taking some Targor Raid Shade here, and this is just going to go all over the fur and the nose and the ears that we painted. We're also going to throw this on his space duffel bag and the straps as well. Next, we're taking some Fugan Orange, and yep, you guessed it, this is going all over the vest that he has. Now we're going to take some Ducat Blue, but we're keeping our Night Blue, and we're going to make sort of a gradient going up to that Ducat Blue here. So we've got the Night Blue all the way up to the Ducat Blue and sort of mixing it in so we get some lighter shades here all the way up. And we are going to use this on all of his blue that we did. And we just start going through and hitting those raised areas and just layering up all of that blue. This goes back to when I was first learning to paint without washes, which I've been doing for a while now, but like I said earlier, this is such a older video that I did, but this is kind of my first attempt at seeing if I could just do that without having to wash too much. And it works out really good. You just really got to get that gradient going up to the colors and just sort of play by ear what colors you want to use and how bright you really want it to be in the end. But by taking our time and sort of working our way up, we sort of start to get an idea of what looks right, and it's kind of an eyeball situation here. Just like, I can't tell you exactly when to stop highlighting, but you'll know when you feel like you've done enough. And it's open to interpretation too, because, you know, it's your miniature, so do it the way you want to do it. Next, we're taking some yellow here, and we're going to just start highlighting up that vest. And we did do a wash on this. That was just making it a little easier because I started with a brighter color. If I wanted to not use a wash, I would have started with a much darker color. And we'll add a touch of ivory into that yellow, and we'll just do up another layer on that vest. And once we have done that, his vest is done. So next we're taking some filthy brown and our beastie brown, and we're going to do the same thing we just did with the blue, only we did use a wash on this just to kind of darken it down. And we're going to start going through and layering up all of our fur. So I've done a lot of painting of fur and hair on the videos before, if you want to go back and check any of those out. But I don't adhere strictly to exactly what's on the miniature for hair. I kind of just like freeform it and start adding in some, you know, little stripes and ticks and stuff like that to kind of get the look of hair without having to hit every little tiny spot. And you can see how that kind of works out. It reads to your eye like it is hair if you kind of do it that way, but it turns out really nice. And again, we're just adding more of that filthy brown in every time that we're kind of doing another layer up, and just bringing all the color out on all that weird alien fur. Next, we're taking some pale flesh, and we've added that to our salmon, and we're going to kind of go in and do the inside of the ears and also his snout and his mouth there. So it's the same process we've been going through, where we're just adding in a brighter color, you know, doing a layer, then adding a little bit more of that brighter color in, and just going through and picking out all the raised details. And we're going to take our tan and we're going to do our first highlight up on his duffel bag. So, you know, go through, stay away from the recesses, and yeah, I something about the color of this duffel bag. I feel like my older brother had a duffel bag this color. Anyway, we're just going through and layering everything up. And we're taking our night blue and we're just going to do his little eyeballs here in the night blue. Then we're going to take some ivory and we're just going to put a little spot of ivory on his eyes that we just did. So it's just a little bit of a, like a shine. Now we're hopping over to vampiric flesh, and we're hopping over to our other bounty hunter here, and this is just going to go all over his undershirt. So we're staying away from the straps and the belts and all that, and it's just going on the shirt he's wearing. Now we're taking some night blue here, and we're just going to put this all over his boots. Next, we're taking some charred brown, and this is going all over his pants and also the cape that he is wearing. There it is again, capes. Lots of capes and vests in Star Wars. There's just a lot of them. Next, we're taking some USAF olive drab. Okay. And it's going all over the belts that he has and also his gloves. And we're going to take some scarlet red here, and this is going all over his skin. Now we're hopping back to our vampiric flesh, and we're going to start adding in a amounts of ivory to it and start layering up that shirt of his. And it's the same process we've been doing, like we've been talking about. We're just adding in more and more ivory and just bringing it all up to almost to the just ivory color. And we're taking that charred brown and we're going to start adding in parasite brown, and we're doing his pants and his cape, and this works out really well. That charred brown is so dark, and as we add in our parasite brown, which is more of an orangey brown, it really gives it a look of sort of worn, well-used leather, and just bringing it all up to a color that we think looks good in the end, and just pulling those highlights in and staying away from the recesses. But yeah, it does end up looking really nice and reading as like worn leather. Next, we're taking that night blue and we're adding in some stone wall gray, and we're going to start highlighting up all of his boot areas. So this is just going to give it like sort of a bluish gray look in the end, and we just go through and bring up all the colors on those boots. Now we're taking that yellow olive and we're adding some khaki into it to kind of get a layer up for that olive drab khaki mix that we used earlier. No, it's just olive drab. And we're just going to be bringing up all those colors on the belts and straps. So we're taking some scarlet red and we're going to build up to a deep red here. And we're just going to slowly go through and layer up all of his flesh. So maybe I should have started with a darker red than the scarlet red, but I mean, it ends up looking good, but I will have to get out another color to brighten the red. And that other color is amaranth red, so we're adding that into our deep red mix. And now we're sort of on the right track of what I was hoping for, because I really wanted it to be a very bright red at the end. So maybe if I had started with a darker red, like a burnt red or something like that, instead of the scarlet, this would have worked out a little bit quicker. But in the end, it turns out fine. Next, we're taking some ivory here, and we're just going to dot in his eyes. Then we're taking some earth here, and we're going to use this on his horns. So we're just going to put that right on the horns there. And a little bit of desert yellow, and we're going to just put that near the tips of the horns and kind of try to blend that in with the earth. Now we're taking some gunmetal here, and this is going to go on any of the belts or straps, like fasteners, any of that stuff that he has on him. Just right on there. It's also going all over his shoulder pads. Next, we're taking some occultist cloak, and we're going to use this as a wash on all the weapons. So we can use this on the Deveronian here and also the Chadra fan. This is just a really nice color if you've primed with white for their weapons. We're also going to use this on the metal that we've done, so his shoulder pads and his buckles and whatnot. Next, we're taking some polished silver, and this is going all over Toto there on the Chadra fan's base. So, I wasn't really going to paint him for the tutorial, but I figured we'd just do him up real quick. Next, we're taking some runic gray and some speed paint medium, and we're going to be putting this all over Toto after that polished silver is all dried. And we're going to take some yellow. We're going to dot in his eyes here. These guys are done. And here they are all finished up. And you know what? They turned out pretty good. I'm actually really happy with this little Chatterfan. He turned out good. And his eyes have a little bit of shine to them. I'm really happy with him. And then the Deveronian. Yeah, he turned out good. He's fine. I obviously need to work a little bit more with the skin, but it's alright. So what do you guys think? Did you guys pick up this pack? I already painted Aura Singh for this pack, and I painted Cad Bane on stream, but it's nice to have this box done, because I do really want to play with, like, the mercenaries and lowlifes of the galaxy. That's kind of my jam for Star Wars, bounty hunters and all that. The Old West sort of aspect of Star Wars. I love that. What do you guys think? Is that a part of Star Wars that draws you to it? The bounty hunters in the Old West? Or are you more of the Force and the Jedi? Or the dark side? Or any of that? Let me know in the comments below. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. And you guys have a great day.